The whole human effort at one point is about survival. But once the survival is taken care of, after that is somehow to have a larger slice of life, isn't it? There is something within you constantly longing to be boundless.
Anyway, the desire in you is longing for unboundedness, it is longing for unlimitedness, it is longing for the ultimate nature. You just have to bring awareness to it. If it is finding unconscious expression, then it makes you run like madman. All the time it keeps you running endlessly.
Essentially, nothing is going to fulfill us unless we touch a boundless state. The whole human effort at one point is about survival. But once the survival is taken care of, after that is somehow to have a larger slice of life, isn't it? One way or the other, whichever way you know best. If you know money, you're thinking of more money. If you know power, you're thinking of more power. If you know pleasure, you're thinking of more pleasure. If you know love, more love. Knowledge, more knowledge, it doesn't matter what's your currency. But you are constantly seeking a larger slice of life. You want something more to happen with your life, wherever you are, isn't it so? There is something within you which wants to expand all the time. If I imprison you in a 5x5 cubicle, you'll feel horribly imprisoned. Tomorrow we'll announce your liberation and liberate you into your 10x10 cubicle. You'll feel wonderful for a day. Next day again you feel imprisoned. We'll release you into your 100x100 cubicle. You'll feel great for 3 days. Again you'll feel imprisoned. It doesn't matter where I set the boundary. The moment you can feel the boundary, you want to break it, isn't it? If I set the boundary at the edge of the universe, the moment you can feel it, you want to break that. When you don't feel it, you don't mind. But the moment you can feel the boundary, you want to break that. So there is something within you which does not like boundaries. There is something within you constantly longing to be boundless.
Dear Sadhguru, it is well known that desire is the cause of all sorrows and tension. But being a wife and a mother… Being a wife and a mother, I can't get rid of these desires. I seek your valuable advice in this regard. Thank you.
Now it's not because you're a wife, an internal mother, that your desires have come. If you were nobody's wife, probably you were desiring… when you were nobody's wife, you were desiring to be somebody's wife. Now that you're somebody's wife, you desire to have a child and become a mother. Now that you have a child, now you are saying, it is these two entities which is making me desire. It is not true. If you were nobody's nothing, even then your desire would still burn within you. Is that so? Yes or no? If you're nothing to nobody in the world, still your desire would burn, isn't it? So please don't think your desires are because of your child or your husband or your family or whatever. Anyway you would desire, because that's your nature. Now, you made a statement in the question that desire is the source of all misery. Desire is not the source of all misery. Unfulfilled desire is the source of all misery. Isn't it? Isn't it so? Desires fulfilled are the source of your joy. Unfulfilled desires is the source of your misery. Now, what to do with the desire? Shall we kill the desire? I know people have been teaching you such things. You must kill all your desires. Unless you destroy your desires, your misery will not go. These teachings have come to you, isn't it?
Now, if you want to destroy all your desires, all you will have is, you will have a great desire to destroy all your desires. And you will remain eternally unfulfilled. I don't want any desires. Is this a desire? Is this a desire or no? Yes. So, if you try to play tricks with this, it's not going to work. Because desire is not desiring for anything in particular. The energy which you call as desire is not different from the energy that you call as life. If you want to move from point A to point B, you need a desire, isn't it? Now, what brought you here today? It is not your bus or car or something else, it is your desire which has brought you here today, isn't it? What is it that will take you home? It is your desire which will take you home. What is it that which will make you eat? It is your desire which will make you eat. So, what you call as desire is not any different from what you call as life. The life is desire. The very basis of your life is desire, isn't it? So if I tell you kill the desire, the only way is to hang yourself. There is really no other way. Now I want to die, that is also a desire, isn't it? Yes or no? So do not deceive yourself with these things. Desire is the very essence of your life. But at the same time, you also know that desire is an unending thing. If you fulfill one, the next one will be ready. If you fulfill that, the next one will be ready. It keeps you on all the time. And obviously, some desires will be unfulfilled, and those unfulfilled desires cause much misery to you. If you look at the desire, actually when we started, this is what we were looking at. We just did not use the word desire. There is something within you longing to be little more than what you are right now, isn't it? That is desire. So your desire's ultimate goal is unboundedness, the infinite nature. But because you're unaware, you are giving it an unconscious expression for the longing that is wanting to become unbounded. So you don't have to destroy your desire because you cannot. Can anybody destroy their desire? Is it possible? There is no way, because that's life. It is just that you have to make your desire into your conscious process. Right now it is functioning unconsciously. Because right now your desires are not even about you. Please look at this. Right now you're living in Trivandrum or Thiruvananthapuram. Your neighbor has a big car. What is your desire? You want to have 2 cars like that. Now you don't know all these cars, you are living in a remote place and your neighbor has 1 big buffalo. What is your desire? You want to have 2 buffaloes like that. So your desire is just a reaction to the social situations in which you're living, isn't it? This is so because this longing to expand is finding unconscious expression. If you make your process of desiring into your conscious process, then desire is no more a problem. Desire is a wonderful vehicle which will take you places. Even if you want to reach the ultimate, you need a desire, isn't it? Yes or no? Anyway, the desire in you is longing for unboundedness, it is longing for unlimitedness, it is longing for the ultimate nature. You just have to bring awareness to it. If you bring awareness to your desiring process, it is a wonderful instrument. If it is finding unconscious expression, then it makes you run like madman. All the time it keeps you running endlessly.
So, what is this solution for the human predicament? Because no matter what happens, seems to be unfulfilled. Right now, living in this town, whatever aspirations you have, the moment it is fulfilled, you have a next aspiration, isn't it so? No matter where you are in your life, whether you are the king of this town or you're down there, you want something to happen in your life. If that happens, you want the next thing to happen. If that happens, you want the next thing to happen. So why are you going in installments like this? Suppose I make you the king or queen of this planet. Don't look at me hopefully. Will I commit such a blunder? Suppose we make you the king or queen of this planet. Would you be fulfilled? I'm asking you. Would you be fulfilled? No, you would want the other planets and the stars and the galaxies. Because there is something within a human being which is not willing to settle for any boundaries. It is aspiring for a boundless possibility. If you're seeking boundlessness, seeking it through physical means is a hopeless case. Your aspiration is fantastic because if you really look at it, sitting here, if you really look at it, suppose right now you become the king of this planet, you were not satisfied, we made you the king of the solar system, not satisfied, we made you the king of the universe, not satisfied. If you really look at this, what you're aspiring for is infinite nature. Your aspiration is fantastic, but the means is miserable in the sense. Suppose you're driving your car today and you saw the moon and you felt like going there. Sometimes the advertisements are so exaggerated, they told you if you really floor the accelerator, it will go to the moon. If you try very hard, you may go beyond the moon, but you will not go to the moon. Yes or no? Because a car is not a suitable vehicle to go to the moon. You need another kind of vehicle to go to the moon. So similarly here, through physical means we are trying to become infinite. Its aspiration is wonderful, but the vehicle is miserable because the nature of physicality is like this. Physical means it comes with a defined boundary. Only because there is a defined boundary, we can call this a physical body. If I take away all boundaries of this, can you call this a physical body if it is everywhere? Physicality means the fundamental nature of physicality is a defined boundary. Without a boundary, there is no physical nature. But right now, there is something within you which is constantly aspiring to break the boundaries. Just look at yourself and see. Suppose we imprison you in a 5x5 cubicle, you will be very miserable. Tomorrow we announce your liberation and release you into a 10x10 cubicle. It will be wonderful for a day, but again you'll feel miserable. Then day after tomorrow we'll release you into a 100x100 cubicle. You will feel great for 3 days. Again it's the same thing. What I'm asking you is, it doesn't matter how big the boundary is. The moment you realize there is a boundary, you want to break it. Yes or no? This is the nature of the human being. It doesn't matter, all kinds of pacifist philosophies have been taught, be content with what you have, don't aspire for more than what you know, do not all kinds of things. It's not worked for a single human being. It only works when you're sick or when you're dying. You're sick and down today, if I tell you, you should not aspire for anything, be satisfied with what you have, you will say, yes, anything is okay, just get me well. Tomorrow, once again the energy is back, ready for something more, yes or no? Only when you're beaten and down, then these philosophies will work. For a healthy, living human being, these philosophies of be happy with what you have doesn't work. Now, does it mean to say a human being has to be eternally in turmoil, eternally in struggle? No. What we do in terms of our aspiration is just this. Essentially, nothing is going to fulfill us unless we touch a boundless state. And boundlessness is not going to happen within the limitations of the physical. When I say within the limitations of the physical, right now your whole experience of life is limited to the physical. See, your experience of life right now is happening because you can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste and you can touch. This is the only way you know that you're here, isn't it? It is through five sense organs that you're experiencing everything. These five sense organs cannot perceive anything other than physical. You can only see the physical, you can only hear the physical, you can only smell, taste and touch the physical. That which is not physical is not within the ambit of these five sense organs. So if you do not transcend the five senses, there is no possibility of experiencing anything beyond physicality. If you do not experience anything beyond physicality, this longing of wanting to be something more endlessly going on, you are not looking for more, you are looking for all, and all is not possible through physical means.